The success of the Colony High School senior, Katherine Omo-Osagie, may seem something like out of a fairy tale. But just like any magical story, there have been plenty of plot twists along the way. Although the final chapters for Katherine remain unwritten, she is turning tragedies into triumphs and encouraging others with her inspiring outlook on life.
We're originally from Champaign, Illinois. My husband and I were married for 22 years. We had 3 boys and a girl. Katherine is the baby, and over about the last 8.5 years, my husband started to have quite a bit of anxiety and depression issues. He was seeing a professional, and that person kept layering medications on him. He was taking 5 prescription antidepressant, antipsychotic drugs that I think over time really changed who he was as a person, and he became very abusive.
In February of 2010, after years of suffering from mental illness and numerous medications, Katherine's dad reached his breaking point. On what seemed to be any other Saturday afternoon, he called Katherine's mom into their room, away from the kids, pulled out a handgun and opened fire, before ultimately turning the gun on himself.
3 of the 4 children were home at the time.
I was the one who found him and my mom, and I handed my mom the cell phone to call 911.
My kids saved my life.
We kind of had to rebuild after that. We lost all of our money. We went bankrupt. Our house was foreclosed on. We lost just really everything my brothers and I had known up until that point. So we picked up and we moved to Texas to kind of start over.
It was very random, and I do believe that there has to be a divine power that leads you to where you are supposed to be in life.
I moved here when I was 8. It was right before my 9th birthday, and I was in 3rd grade. I went to an elementary school in LISD. I went to Tom Hicks Elementary.
I think Katherine's drive came from the trauma. Her work ethic became her escape.
Well, one of my big motivations is one thing about me and my mom is even when I was little, we would drive around Highland Park and we would look at the multi-million-dollar houses, and we would talk about, what do these people do? Oh, they're doctors, they're lawyers, they're highly educated people, and I knew I wanted to be one of those people. So that motivated me to really keep my head down, to focus on school, to get my work done, to keep straight A's, and I've always been a very studious kid. Like, I have had a college spreadsheet list that has 50 colleges, and it has the tuition, and it has the required GPA and the required SAT score since I was like, I don't know, in 7th grade. And I've just always been really motivated to make sure that I set myself up for what I want my future to look like.
But I think part of it has just come from her challenging herself to see how far she can go.
My 8th grade year, I took the PSAT, and I scored well enough on that to qualify to take the TSI test. So I took the TSI, and I did really well on it, and I was accepted into the Collegiate Academy. The Collegiate Academy, absolutely amazing program, I can't say it enough. You go into your freshman year and you start taking college classes, and then by your senior year you have the opportunity to graduate high school with an Associates of Arts or an Associates of Science. I'm going for the Associates of Science. That was great because I could start college early, and I don't have a college fund because when my dad passed, that was one of the things we lost. I never had one. And I got to go to the Colony, and I got to start over, and it's been absolutely amazing.
One of the things that I think drives Katherine is the adversity that she's had to face in her life. One of the very first things that she told us when she came to our class and she shared her story was that she wanted to use it to make a difference.
And then now I'm a senior, I'm cheer captain, I'm in PALS, and I'm just doing so many great things. And with Miss Texas, I would have never entered Miss Texas if I didn't go to the Colony, because a girl who used to go here was in the Miss Texas organization.
Which kind of came out of nowhere. She'd never been in a pageant system.
But I was like, I have nothing to lose. It might be a fun experience, and if nothing else, then I get a pretty dress out of it.
And I'm thinking, okay, all I have to do is buy a couple dresses, and you go do your thing, and we'll see what happens. Oh no, there was a lot more to it than that, but I had no idea, which was probably a good thing.
I made a finalist, and I was like, oh my gosh. Like, I made the top 12, and then I made the top 5, and I was like, oh my gosh. And then I won, and I was like, oh my gosh, because nobody has ever gone in the way that I did and won on their first try.
Part of the Miss America system is that it's not a traditional beauty pageant. It is a scholarship competition for college scholarships. It's actually the largest college scholarship organization for women in the country.
I won $7,000 of cash scholarships from Miss Texas.
And then from there, she competed in Miss America's Outstanding Teen and ended up second runner-up.
I won an additional $5,000 in cash scholarships, and then I also have a full ride scholarship to Alabama and Auburn University.
So now, when she's looking at colleges, she's looking at a strong pre-med program that would, get her into a good medical school.
The Collegiate Academy has helped me have more flexibility because I do want to go to med school, and that's a lot of schooling, but it just gives me the flexibility to do whatever I want.
Her time management skills are just amazing, and I think the Collegiate Academy contributed to that greatly.
But it's just been really cool because the Colony has definitely set my path on a different angle.
When you look at her, she's beautiful, she's a cheerleader, but behind all the smiles, I think is a very genuine heart, and she cares about others. And it's not about the glitz and the glamour and the attention that she gets. I think she honestly does want to do something special.
She's just an amazing young woman, and I am so incredibly proud of her, and I know her brothers are proud of her, and I can't wait to see where this girl ends up. I mean, I have no idea what her future is going to look like, but it's going to be pretty freaking amazing. I mean, I really believe that.
I feel like I've been given so many different obstacles in my life, and I used to really be like, why are these things still happening? Like, have I not proven that I can get through it? Like, why is things just keep hitting me like left and right? But I've really taken all of it and I've learned from all of it. And I help other people go through the things that I've already been through because I went through a lot of it at such a young age. So whether that's PTSD, whether that's depression, whether that's anxiety, whether that's a sibling who has mental illness, I mean, all of these things I've already dealt with, so I can just kind of use the knowledge I've already gained to help other people. And that's what really motivates me to keep talking and keep just being open about it, because all you can do is really try to help other people once you've already been through it.